We are just after your session about comparing service-based architecture. You said a lot of stuff, and I lost my mind about that. But could you summarize your session?
Yeah, it's basically the history of how we got to microservices and the really good things about service-oriented architecture and the lessons about reuse and taxonomy that we brought over into microservices, and also some about how you migrate from one architectural style to the other and some of the concerns that you have to think about when you're moving from one architecture to another.
What are the most common problems with microservices?
Well, the most common problem is people shouldn't be doing microservices. They're building the wrong. They're trying to solve the wrong problem using an architecture because it's the new shiny thing. Yeah. And there are a lot of issues with communication, getting granularity right, establishing bounded context, and so it's a complicated architectural style. But you can be successful with it if you do it carefully. So part of doing microservices well is understanding why all the pieces are in place and not just doing it as a cargo cult. And that's part of what my talk is about, is understanding why all those pieces are there and why the bounded context is really important as an underlying philosophy of microservices.
Yeah, you said a very, very nice sentence that microservices, it's not a description, but it's a label.
Yeah, it's a label, not a description. Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to make every service really small. You had to call it something, and it's called micro in contrast to huge service-oriented architecture. So it's not a command to make each one as small as possible. You're trying to capture a bounded context. So.
It's not your only one session on Net Developer Days.
No, I'm doing another session on hypothesis-driven development using feature toggles later this afternoon.
Okay, later afternoon.
Yep.
And last but not least, what advice could you give for young developers that are just getting into programming?
Learn some foundational things about architecture, about languages, about why things work. There's way too much cargo culting, I think, in software, where you just do things because other people have done it without understanding why. The more you understand why, the more you can analyze and understand when new problems come up, how to solve those problems rather than just blindly trying to apply things you've seen other people do.
Thank you very much, Neal.
Yep,
It was a pleasure.
Yep, thanks.